Can you define what exactly is cheating?
Majorly, people think it's only infidelity, but cheating is as simple as hiding things, knowing that it would hurt their partner.
Meet PADMAJA EVURI, a self-happiness and relationship coach. She speaks openly about her own anxiety issues and relationship problems. In addition to being a TEDx speaker, she now holds workshops focused on nurturing healthy relationships, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. What is the reason behind a man cheating and behind a woman cheating?
Number one would be that person doesn't feel connected to the partner. There is no peace in the marriage. And when there is no peace, women do not respect or admire the husband. Men basically are behind that admiration. When it comes to women,
And if you are somebody who's been cheated on, is it justified for you to go and cheat on your partner now?
it's always better to ditch someone than cheat someone. If you're not getting things from your partner, which you should, as you deserve, leave the relationship and go ahead.
What about when you have kids?
When you have kids and you're not getting what you need from your partner,
What is it that somebody can do in a relationship to ensure that their partner doesn't cheat on them? It's very complicated actually.
Yeah.
What you're saying is really, really complicated.
marriage especially is complicated.
Speak freely.
Sure.
Let yourself flow.
Sure. I'm talkative, so you don't have to worry about
Rolling, Sikandar, sound rolling. But before we खोलो, cut it. अभी आपने बोला कि women tend to ignore their happiness.
Yeah.
So why is that?
because we are raised by our previous generations who told them or taught them consciously, subconsciously that you have to take care of everybody's emotional needs, not just needs, emotional needs. So while taking care of others' emotional needs in the family, they tend to let go of their needs. So that's the major reason.
मतलब ये चीज़ नहीं सिखाई जाती कि उनकी इमोशनल नीड्स के साथ साथ अपनी इमोशनल नीड्स का भी ख्याल रखना है. यू आर राइट एक्चुअली. आई मीन वी सी दैट विद अ लॉट ऑफ वुमेन.
True. Yeah.
Okay, coming to cheating. Can you define what exactly is cheating?
Majorly, people think it's only infidelity.
Okay.
But cheating is as simple as going round about the spouse or hiding things, knowing that it would hurt their partner.
Hiding things like what?
Like
Meeting somebody? Messaging somebody? Chatting
and
with somebody?
emotionally depending on another person. Not the intimate partner, but generally it comes to talking to exes,
Okay.
and especially when the wife or husband says, I am not okay with that.
Would you say that is emotional cheating?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I want to understand कि okay, you said especially when the husband or wife said, I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
How do you define what is okay?
All right.
मतलब ऐसा हो सकता है ना कि उसके लिए जो ओके है वो मेरे लिए ओके नहीं है, या मेरे लिए जो ओके नहीं है वो उसके लिए ओके है.
Okay, so when you're talking about feeling okay, it's not the things like, okay, I need to go to some place, I want to go to holiday, and the partner is saying, no, I'm not okay with that. It's not that. When it comes to cheating, it's mostly that the partner gets hurt. Basically emotional hurt, right? When the partner says, it hurts me. When you do this behind my back, it really hurts. And that affects the trust issues. That's the definition. Nothing
But
else.
when you say that the partner saying if you do this behind my back it hurts me, what if you don't do it behind his back or her back?
That is still cheating because it doesn't help the partner not to feel hurt, isn't it?
But that's what I'm trying to understand कि let's say A married B. A is a person who's very outgoing, has a lot of friends, is very socially active. Now he's married to or she's married to B. Let's not make it gender specific. आदमी औरत दोनों की बात हो रही है. Now he's married to B.
Okay.
Now A has a certain क्या बोलते हैं एक पर्सनालिटी है उसकी, राइट? नाउ बी सडनली स्टार्ट्स हैविंग अ प्रॉब्लम विद हिज पर्सनालिटी कि अरे यार यू आर टॉकिंग टू मेनी गर्ल्स, या आई एम नॉट कंफर्टेबल विद दिस.
Okay.
Is it okay for A to change his personality for her? Or if he doesn't change his personality, does that also account as cheating?
Okay, the question, let me correct that question.
Yeah.
So if A says, that's my personality to go and meet girls, so why only girls? Do you connect only with girls? Or do you have girls as best friends? So there are different scenarios, right? So if you have girls as best friends, that's not cheating.
Okay.
You've always had girls who are best friends. But when it comes to subtle flirting, or the partner has observed, okay, you flirt with girls and that's your personality, where is the harm? Where is the limit? You can flirt all you want, but when it comes to intimate things, there's a limit. And the wife, when finds out, mostly they find out and then says, messaging is okay, but late night messages, sending pictures, asking intimate details, that is cheating. You don't need to have physical intimacy at all with them, but this is still cheating. So that's where the line has to be drawn. Now there are women who say you cannot talk to any girl, it doesn't matter. Now that comes because of the insecurity that woman has. Or when men say you cannot talk to any guys, that is because he has that insecurity.
How do you deal with that? If that does not account as cheating, then how do you deal with that?
Communication. So a lot of intimate relationships need to have a great communication, and this is something that I keep talking about in every coaching sessions, I should say, because communication, what people think is you and I are communicating.
Yeah.
Right? People communicate at their workplace, strangers, whatsoever. But when it comes to intimate relationships, communication is a different ball game altogether.
So kaise? How is it different?
So when it comes to communication, it's a two-way street. So a lot of people think the reels or the videos that we see, they say use I statements instead of you statements. Now let's say that I'm using the same thing. Instead of saying you're hurting me, you're doing this, I would say when you do this, I get hurt. I don't
Okay.
like it. But this is not communication still.
Okay.
It is one way. Communication has to be two-way, isn't
Okay.
it?
Okay.
So when I say what I need, or when I'm communicating from my end, I need to give that space for you to communicate to me as well. Right? And this communication only happens when they both understand each other. Now, what is understanding? That's another thing altogether. Now, let's say, understand that every person has needs, isn't it? Even in intimate relationships, the needs are heightened. This is what I expect from my partner because this is my need. Mostly women say that I need emotional support from my partner. And mostly men would say, I need physical intimacy from my partner.
Okay.
So when women have to talk about emotions, men don't know what to do with it. Why? Because they are mostly problem solvers.
Okay.
They are logical thinkers. They reason with things. And if I don't understand, because I always want to solve your problem. A wife comes with a problem saying that yesterday when your mother said this, I felt hurt. I didn't like it. So what is the problem solving there? Men could possibly will say, that's okay, ignore it. Maybe she doesn't mean it. My mom is like that. Forget it. Move on. But that is nothing but dismissing. So he would be dismissing her needs. That's because he doesn't understand or tries to understand that hurt or emotion that she feels because she needs emotional support. Like you see women talking anywhere, like friends, strangers, you meet them in the bathroom. It's all right, we just talk, pour.
Yeah.
right? We are not getting anything out of there. We are just relieving the baggage, whatever that we feel relieved. Men don't do that. Men don't
Okay.
talk about problems.
So are you saying that there should be a different approach from the man's side?
Absolutely.
Which is what?
Men, for them to understand, I need to provide emotional support to my partner. It's all about hearing them, understanding them, making them seen and heard. That's all.
So in the same example जो आपने दिया mother-in-law का, what should the man do in this case?
First, he needs to understand the situation. When you're saying, okay, when my mother did this, I can see that it hurts. What happened? So he's probing so that he genuinely wants to know more about it. That's what women do.
Yeah.
We would be like, Kya hua? Aisa? Oh my God. Then what did you do?
Yeah.
We probe a lot.
Yeah.
Because when we share, we feel relieved. That's
Right.
emotional support. Women are great at that. Right? But men don't do that. Because when men meet, let's say a friend says, Are yaar, kaam nahi mila and I don't have money. I don't know how I'm going to survive this month. Men immediately would say, problem fixing, right? So, ye lo, take this money. That's okay. You can pay me back, whatsoever. But they don't ask, how are you dealing with things? But women will go ahead. They won't fix it. Because women know that if she needs money, she will ask me. She's sharing the issue, so I'm going to ask, how are you dealing with it? So that's the understanding part.
Okay. So when you have the understanding part, now you were saying that communication is a two-way street.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Exactly this way, right? Now, when a wife says same thing, your mom said this, I didn't like it, I felt hurt. Now, on the other hand, men would be like, what happened? Did she really say that? I'm so sorry that you had to go through. How are you feeling? What is happening? So probe more. So that is the conversation, right? Two-way street. So now the wife will feel that my husband cares about me. I'm feeling hurt. He's caring about me, right? But what exactly happens is they get defensive. How can you say things like my mom? I don't think so. My mom is that way.
Okay, and coming back to the same point where B feels that A has a lot of friends who are girls, and you're saying that as long as A is not flirting with them, it's not cheating. As long as he's not sending late night messages, it's not cheating. But what if B feels कि नहीं, होना ही नहीं चाहिए?
That's because of insecurity.
So how to deal with that?
Now, understand insecurity is not automatically developed. It happens because of previous experiences.
With
or
other people.
With other people or probably with the same partner as well, where the person would have tried to convey it as soon as they realized, okay, this is hurting me, this is something that I don't like. They develop that need to feel safety and security in that relationship. So they communicate, hey, you talk like this, I observed that you were talking to that girl this way, I didn't like it. So she's expressing her need. So the men, if they dismiss it, they keep dismissing, aisa kuch nahi hai, you're overthinking, you're that, you're this. And then what is happening? The need. So when you're ignoring that need long enough, it becomes insecurity. In that
But what I'm not being able to understand is कि if A is not doing anything wrong, if A is not cheating, but B is still feeling that A is cheating, is it okay for A to now start hiding and doing the things which are intrinsic to his own personality?
it's not about
And it's not just his, her own personality. I'm talking about both genders.
Yeah. So it's not about hiding or keep doing it. It's not about changing the perspective or personality or whatever it is. It is about assuring the partner and talking about it, communication. Again, hey, I know that this is what you're feeling. I want you to trust me. If you have any doubts,
Okay.
let me know. Let's talk about this. I see your need. Let's talk about this. When you do that conversation basis, that doesn't turn into insecurity. Now, let's say that insecurity is already developed because they would have kept ignoring. Now, once the insecurity develops, after that, if that keeps happening again and again, now this person will communicate. It's like, I don't like it. Why did you do it? Or whatever. They will convey it. But again, kept on dismissing, it turns into a fear. So basically, needs, ignored for long enough or dismissed for long enough, it turns into insecurity. Insecurity is dismissed for long enough or ignored for long enough, it turns into fear. Once it goes into that stage, the fear is what controls their life, their marriage, relationship, and it also spills over for other aspects as well. But that fear, once it's developed fully, it would be this trust issues, big time. कहाँ जा रहे हो? Every time checking the phone. किसके साथ बात कर रहे हो? Show me your phone. Give me your password. Everything. It's like their conversations as well. Now let's say that husband is talking, husband or wife, whoever, be, you were saying. So that person is talking very nicely, in intimate way to the wife. The automatic thing that they feel like, kuch hua hoga. Maybe some girl would have rejected it.
But this to me, it's sounding like बिना किसी बात के इशू बन रहा है चीज़ का. It's sounding to me like that. Let's talk from the cheater's perspective. Who's not cheating? He's not cheating or she's not cheating.
Yeah.
तो उसको मतलब I feel that isn't it wrong for a person who's insecure to keep expecting the other person to assure them again and again and again, and for the person to keep asking कि मुझे phone password दो, मुझे phone check करना है. I mean, how is that a healthy relationship without even cheating?
It's not healthy, definitely. But the person should entertain the need in the beginning. So now, basically what you're explaining is the fear stage. At that time, you will get exhausted to keep proving to the person. At that time, understand, working on insecurity for your partner takes a long route. It takes a lot of time to heal from that insecurity. Now, this insecurity often doesn't only all the time develop in that current relationship. Abandonment issues ho sakta hai. Now, abandonment, it isn't just that the father left the kid or mother left the kid. It could be as simple as the best friend that she would have thought she had in the childhood or while growing up. Maybe the best friend stopped being friend. So abandonment. Right? When that happens, she develops that insecurity that people will leave me. And that insecurity says, I need to hold people that I love very dear to me, very close to me. I want to feel control, right? In control. So that I know what they're doing when they're going to leave me. So that if I know that, I can change things around. So now, yes, most of the people ask, if it's her issue or his issue, why should I go through this? It's her problem or his problem, not mine. But that's the thing, isn't it? We get married, we are in intimate relationships to be there for each other, right? Generally, when the spouse is sick, you would care for them, right? The same way, when the spouse has insecurities, has any particular problems, that's the support that you're going to be there. That's the care that you're going to show. Yes, it is their individual process, but that process is something that only they can go through. They have to. But as a partner, you will be supporting them. That support can change things for them.
Okay, this is one scenario where there's no cheating happening. There's only insecurity, right? Let's talk about somebody who's actually cheating.
Okay.
And in your definition, cheating is emotional or physical.
Yeah.
Right? Emotional cheating could be exchanges of messages which are emotional, missing you, I wish I was there, right?
Yeah.
All these kind of things. What is the reason behind a man cheating and behind a woman cheating?
The reason behind a man cheating, there could be a lot, but if we have to cut down on those reasons, number one would be that person doesn't feel connected to the partner.
Okay.
When I say connected, that means they have issues, underlying issues, and there is no peace in the marriage. And when there is no peace, women do not respect or admire the husband. Men basically are behind that admiration. They want their partner to look up to them. right? And that's one of the reason. The second would be addiction. So when men are addicted, right, it could be as simple as texting. They don't have to have physical intimacy with,
Okay.
with the person, but they feel that excitement. They like that excitement. They like to go through things like look at girls or talk to girls. They feel that excitement. So that is addiction. And another reason probably could be they want to try new things.
Okay.
If it's person who is starting fresh, they have never cheated, or installing Tinder. That's something that we
Right.
keep hearing, that I saw my husband downloading Tinder. It broke my heart. It could be because, what is this Tinder? Let me actually look at it.
Yeah, just curiosity.
Curiosity. And it could also be like, let me hide it.
Yeah.
Let me try. Do
Let
I
me
have
meet
chances?
new women.
I want to feel good. I'm like, there are girls swiping left or right, I don't know. But there are girls swiping on me.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good. Let's do it. Then it goes to the next level where they keep talking. So it keeps carrying on as well. So this is the men's part.
Okay.
When it comes to women, it's always because of lack of emotional support. You can call it as she doesn't feel safe, secure in the relationship. She doesn't feel cared or loved by the partner. It's mostly based on emotions. What she's not getting from the partner, which she should. Now, that's one of the reasons. And the second reason could be as simple as they like it. As simple as it.
So let's talk about men. I mean, for somebody going on Tinder just for the sake of curiosity, does that also account for as cheating? I'm sure if the wife finds out, she will think that.
She will think.
So that is harmless.
That is harmless.
That
I'm
is
like,
harmless.
you just want to try? I'm like, want to see because there are too many people talking about Tinder.
Yeah.
Okay, how does it
And
even
what
work?
if somebody just wants to see whether I've still
Yeah.
got it in me or not?
Yeah, definitely.
also fine.
So you can talk to your partner about it. Hey, come sit down with me. Let's see. I only want to see. That's getting
That
me
may
curious.
not be as much fun.
You never
mean,
know.
that just
As a
takes the-
couple, you can try.
But it just takes the thrill out of it, no?
It depends.
Where's the thrill in that? I mean, I'm just asking that if somebody is doing something for thrill, not for cheating,
But we are
for
not.
thrill.
But we are not talking about the thrill part. We are talking about curiosity.
Huh.
If you're curious about things,
Yeah.
it's only to know things.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if your partner is right
Correct.
next to it.
Correct. But I'm asking if somebody is doing it for curiosity is harmless. What if somebody is doing it for thrill? I want to know if I still have it in me or not. And obviously, I mean, you would just assume कि बीवी तो she will not approve of this, so I should not tell her.
That's just the beginning of the downside of the road, you know.
Okay, then let's talk about women. You're saying कि for women it is always emotional cheating. When they feel emotionally unheard or unsupported,
Yes.
then they want to go outside their relationship.
Yeah.
Is that justified?
Not really. I always say it's always better to ditch someone than cheat someone. If you're not getting things from your partner, which you should, as you deserve, leave the relationship and go ahead.
Yeah, well said. What about when you have kids?
For kids, it's the most complicated situation. But when you have kids and you're not getting what you need from your partner, most of the people, for the kids' sake, they just stay on.
Yeah, and then they
Right.
cheat.
They hold on to it for a really long time. It's not that they're going to go out and find men to cheat on, right?
Right.
It is mostly to happen online or with known people.
With?
Known people
Known people
in their
okay.
life.
Okay.
Like probably a schoolmate, college mate, or colleague. So on those terms. So it doesn't actually, again, happen by default. When they hold on to their needs and insecurities for a really long time and somebody comes up and start to make them feel like they
Like they
see
want to
them.
be, yeah.
And that's the feel good factor that they happen,
Right.
right? It happens to them and they still don't think of cheating
Yeah.
at that point of time. It is that this person keeps entertaining these people, the women, and the woman starts to fall in love because they are giving that emotional safety, support,
That
and
they are looking for.
yeah.
And are there also some gray areas? This is not cheating. This is not cheating also. So वो gray areas वो क्या होते हैं?
X.
Okay.
Because it's an unsaid rule, don't keep in touch with X, no matter what. Right? Not a message, not in Facebook, not on
क्यों ऐसा?
Instagram. Because you felt love for that person at some point of your life, right?
हाँ.
So on your low day, you will think of those good memories and then it starts.
But ऐसा भी तो सुनते हैं हम लोग कि some exes become really good friends and
Yeah.
they are just each other. They're just there for each other and it's never physical or it's never anything else beyond that. ऐसा नहीं होता है.
होता है, but if you have boundaries, if you know your limits, good.
And I
If
think
you are-
both people need to know the limits.
Yes. And while keeping your partner in loop, and if your partner says, no, I don't like you to be with X, you can meet up. She or he needs to know the person and feels, okay, I'm okay with this, like you being friends. But then the insecurity again starts up, right? When, oh, you're going to your ex at this hour, or you're messaging too much, you're talking too much. So where is the limit? So if they have limits, it's okay, but only when the partner says it's okay.
What about the fact that men were not born to be monogamous? I mean, human beings. By men, I mean human beings. Is that true?
No.
It's not true.
No.
We can totally be monogamous. How's that?
The whole concept of marriage, when we are talking about it. Now, before marriage, I mean, if you're not in a serious relationship, yeah, anything is fine with women and men, both. But when you're entering marriage, you know exactly what marriage is. Sharing your life with this one person. So, where does another person fit into this marriage?
So, under no circumstances is it justified. Now, tell me, from the perspective of the person who's been cheated on, let's say I'm talking about proper infidelity or proper emotional cheating, okay? From the perspective of the person who has been cheated on, how should he or she react to that? Or how should he deal with it?
When there is cheating involved, now let's say a cheater comes up and says, sorry, I've done this mistake.
Yeah.
So either which ways, the cheater doesn't say it and then, the partner finds it out. Either which ways, the partner will develop trust issues.
Okay, yeah.
There is no
That's fair,
other
yeah.
thing, right? And the thing about trust issues is that you cannot automatically build that trust again. It is from the cheater who has to try, show, and prove through actions.
Right.
Now, it's not definitive actions again.
Meaning?
Like, keep sharing your WhatsApp location.
Okay.
Tell me where you are. Why didn't you pick up the call? So it's scrutiny after a bit, right? So you can do it for a month, after 6 months.
Right.
It becomes too much for the cheater as well
Also to
to
handle.
keep proving. Because no matter what I do, she's not trusting or he's not trusting me again, right? But at the same time, trust issues, when they are developed, it's more like a heartbreak, right? You need to rework on what are the things that would have gone wrong
You're talking about the
Analyze
person
the
who's
marriage.
cheated on?
in the marriage.
Yeah.
Because if I want to develop trust issues on somebody who broke my trust,
Yeah.
I will have to reanalyze everything about my marriage.
Okay.
Like, are we good normally without this cheating? Are
Are you saying, like, for the person who's being cheated on or was cheated on, for that person to find his or her own responsibility in it?
No, not responsibility. Just have to, move back and look at the marriage as whole.
Okay.
Has it been good? What is missing?
Okay.
Can I trust this person on other things?
Okay. Okay.
Because when the trust issues keep playing, they would question each and everything.
Right.
Why did you buy this? Where did you go? Why are you talking this way? Now you're showing me love. What has happened? Are you thinking about that woman or man that you cheated on? So a lot of questions keep coming up. So they need to analyze the marriage from, just take a step back from cheating and look at the marriage as whole. Then you will see what are the subtle signs or the red flags that you would have missed.
Okay.
So then rework on the marriage as a couple, of course, but from the side of the cheater. No amount of promises or apologies is going to heal that
So
heartbreak.
what should he or she do?
Patiently answer every question possible. Work on the marriage or the relationship as a couple, not as an individual, as a couple, because she is looking for or he is looking for a lot of answers. And you should be patient enough to answer them while working on the marriage as well.
Is it possible
Yes.
to work on a marriage after infidelity?
Yeah.
How long does it take?
Lot of time. It depends on how many
How
red
bad?
flags the woman or man has ignored, or how many underlying issues marriage has from the beginning, or what are the unresolved issues that they already had, or how many times the cheating has happened, or what are the ways that cheating has happened. Many things.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
Right. And what are the red flags that you're talking about?
Flirting.
Okay.
There's something called healthy flirting, but
What is healthy flirting?
healthy flirting is you see a handsome person, right? Handsome guy or a beautiful girl, and you just keep looking at them, right? And then you show extra courtesy, like opening the doors for them,
Okay.
or you want something, I'll give you. But that's there.
Okay.
That's it,
Okay.
right? Now flirting goes beyond that. When we are talking about dangerous flirting, they go lengths to impress the women or men to the extent giving gifts, taking them somewhere, meeting up, buying flowers, and doing
That's not
lots
flirting. That's proper.
of that comes under flirting, because
Okay.
there's nothing happening, right?
Okay.
You're trying to impress the girl or the boy a lot, that you don't possibly do that for your partner.
No, like if you go in a social gathering and you find somebody attractive, you go and tell them you're looking really nice.
Yeah,
Is that healthy or unhealthy?
that is appreciated, and that doesn't come under flirting. If I compliment your dress, or if I compliment how you're looking great today, that is normal, right? But if I go, I like your smile, yeah,
Oh, is that thing in the
your
eyes?
eyelashes.
I think you just probably know with the
Yeah,
expression and
yeah,
the way it's
yeah,
done. I mean, you
yeah.
can just say you're looking very nice is probably not flirtatious, but hey,
Yeah.
looking nice.
Yeah. And when you bat your eyes, I can see a lot of stars in your eyes. Kind of going extra mile to compliment somebody.
Okay. So
Yeah.
unhealthy flirting is one red flag. What are the red flags? मतलब आई एम सेइंग कि ये जो रेड फ्लैग्स हैं अगर आपको दिख रहे हैं अपने पार्टनर में तो यू कैन प्रिडिक्ट कि आगे चल के कुछ हो सकता है. ओके. ओके. सेकंड इज
Hiding phone. Now this is very delicate topic for everybody, right? Because we want to say privacy, right? Privacy should be there, like not sharing the passwords, not sharing the bank details, or these kind of things are appreciated and should be there. But it's more like, oh, my wife is coming or my husband is coming, and then I keep it aside. Right? If they ask phone, I get angry. I get angry. I don't say, why do you want
But
phone?
this sounds like a red flag for somebody who's already cheating. I'm asking, what are the red flags you can see in your spouse, in a person who prospectively
Might cheat?
might cheat in future.
There is
ऐसे
no tell
कुछ-
sign, no. Apart from the flirting that you see, there's nothing.
Okay. Cheating
Because we
के तो
never
you're-
know if the person's intentions are to cheat. Unless they know that I want to cheat on my wife.
तो ऐसा नहीं होता है that this person is like the perfect candidate for being a cheater.
No.
It's not like that. Okay. And if you are somebody who's been cheated on, is it justified for you to go and cheat on your partner now?
No. You would still be ditching the person and go about it. But no, cheating is never okay.
मतलब ऐसा नहीं होता कि तूने किया मैं भी करूँगा.
No.
And
If
then we are even.
If somebody jumps from a cliff, it doesn't mean that, okay, you'll also jump and show. Right?
What is it that somebody can do in a relationship to ensure that their partner doesn't cheat on them?
Again, go back to the basics. what does your partner need from you? Most of the people don't know. Most of the people don't even ask. Even when they ask, they don't explain, right? What does your partner need out of this relationship? Make sure you know that. What is their love language? What is their attachment style? How do they cope with stress? What are the non-negotiables they have in their life? How do they get defensive? So these are the things that one needs to know about their partner more than you would like to know Kundali.
Okay.
Before you get married or before you enter into an intimate relationship, you will have to know these things, because your entire life with that person depends on these things.
So would you say that if somebody is neglecting these things about their partner, in a way they are responsible if they go ahead and cheat?
Cheating is never okay again. You don't get anything, you've got to ditch the person, leave the person, cut the ties. Try, of course, but if you're not getting it again and again and again, you will need to leave the person. Cheating is never okay.
Again, what about somebody who has kids and who's not being able to, I'm saying as a person, you are not giving that much attention to your partner's needs, but you both have kids and the partner is expressing and giving you hints and talking and communication is also happening, but it's just not happening. He or she is not getting what they need. What should they do? Is it okay to go and cheat then?
No, it's not just about your partner when kids are involved.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the relationship and your partner is not okay with this, obviously, if
Yeah.
you have, and your partner says, yeah, it's fine with me, you're not getting what I need and I'm not getting what you need. So, go ahead and do whatever you want. Yeah. Probably have some boundaries, limits, and what's what. But if the partner doesn't know about it and you don't want to have no intention of telling your partner whatsoever, understand that your kids look up to your relationship. Be it fights, be it love, be it good or bad, they always observe. So for them, they look up to your relationship, and if there is a third person, it screws with the kid's mind forever. So if you want to get what you need when you have kids, come out of the relationship.
And is that okay for kids?
You can take your time, explain to kids how you both are separated right now. And you're
It's always better than getting a third
Absolutely.
person or a fourth person
Yeah.
into the relationship.
You've got to let the kids know about major things.
Yeah.
And people who get divorced, they don't tell the kids at all till the last moment. And that's a sudden change that they cannot cope up with things.
Right. Yeah, for the couple, it's been happening. You've got enough time to prepare yourself, but not the kids.
Yeah.
What about open marriages? What are your views on open marriages?
Why to get married in the first place?
I don't know. I'll have to ask somebody who's in an open marriage.
Because
I don't know. I'm assuming that probably it's the same thing that, somebody feels that we are not meant to be monogamous and I cannot expect one person to give me everything that I need. I'm, I want to experiment and I'm adventurous. And if both people agree, is it okay?
keep doing it, go ahead and do it, but why to get married? What is the reason for you to get married in the first place? What are you getting out of marriage? What do you expect out of your
Security.
marriage?
Last
What
में
kind
कुछ workout नहीं हुआ तो ये तो है.
That really doesn't happen, right? That doesn't happen because the other person will sense it from the beginning that I'm just an option. So you can still stay friends, like in the Friends series,
Yeah.
right? If not, if we are not getting married to
I
anybody,
have you. Yeah,
so they
correct.
pair up, like I have you. So that's a security, you could say, but you don't have to get married. Understand we are, still have that Indian roots, and the next generation, when we have kids, they always honor that marriage. So they will turn out to be what their parents are.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Now, it goes both the ways, right? If a kid sees the father drinking all the time. This is the drunkard. So it goes both the ways. The kid can say, my dad used to drink and I hate it, so I will never touch the drink ever again. It can also be like, my dad drinks, so what's a big deal? I'll also drink. Right? So they have their own consciousness. They start building that, and they will understand the world and relationships and things in their own way. So while growing up, if there's something called silent household and shouting household, right? A household where silent household is more of, if there is a problem, they don't talk about it.
Okay.
They take 3 days,
Everything
4
is
days.
shoved under the carpet.
Yeah. We don't talk about it no matter what. Even if we are, 3 days, it's been 3 days and we feel okay right now, it's not that emotional or hurting anymore. Still, I will never talk about the issue. That's silent household. And the shouting household is more like there is an issue, everybody like bangs doors, throws things, shouts at each other. And then they call it, okay, fine. We shouted, we argued, let's come back to normal. So in these kind of households, so now in the silent household, mostly girls have this connection with their fathers, and that's what they relate to the husband.
Okay.
And boys, they have this relationship with the mother, look up to them in the emotional sense, and then that is what they will see in their partner. Now, the reason the women, when they have that relationship with father, like even though it's the daddy's little princess, they observe, right? So if dad is someone who shouts at mom, the moment the husband raises the voice, it's like, oh my God, watch out. But dad used to, it happens in a subconscious level. It doesn't happen consciously. So the moment husband raises a little bit of voice, because when we are emotional, the voice level ho jata hai. And that is not, toxic. That is on a healthy level. It's like, okay. But she will not be able to bear it at all. So she develops the insecure attachment style, because if my partner raises the voice or shows anger or even silent, I need to cross-check every single time that, is he okay? Did something happen? So I will just go and test it. Like, khana mein kya khana hai? Can we go outside today? Or, just to poke things. Not really she wants to talk about the dinner or going out, but just to test. If the person replies in a normal mood, I'm like, okay, things are fine. I am safe. So that makes them anxious. Right? And now when it comes to boys, they relate to the mother, right? So dad jitna bhi chillata hai, that's, I don't care. But if mom is serious, I have to act up while growing up. So mom never talks about the sorrows, sadness, what's happening with dad, what are the problems, never to the boys. They will make the girls sit and talk about it, but never with the boy. So the boy can see that mom is emotional, but I can't talk about it because nobody tells me about things.
Right.
So I have to assume a lot of things. And if I see my mom crying, it hurts me and I don't feel good about it. Now, after they grow up and get into the adult relationship, the moment their wife cries, it triggers them big time.
Okay.
They don't know how to emotionally support because that's never been taught. Mom never told what to do with their emotions. She never asked about my emotions. She never told about her emotions, so I don't know what to do with emotions. So the moment wife comes with emotions, this has been happening, I'm feeling exhausted, you're not doing that, this is, I don't like this, or this happened, I feel really sad, or crying is a lot of times trigger for men. When women cry, and especially their partner cries, it's a big trigger. And for women, if the husband raises their tone, irritation or anger or these kind of things, it triggers them because of all these things.
So open marriages should not be there because it just doesn't make sense. I don't know how some people do it.
Yeah, you can call it as open relationships, but not marriage.
Okay, thank you so much. This was a very heavy conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making time for it. And I just want to leave the audience with some thoughts that cheating kyun hoti hai? I think it's very hard to actually pinpoint why somebody cheated on somebody. Some people just have a habit of doing it. Some people have a need, like she said, ki as a woman, you feel the emotional need to connect with somebody. If you're not getting emotional connect at home, you go ahead and cheat. But I think my takeaway from this conversation is that you have to, at a certain level, take responsibility for the other person as well. Because in a relationship, a couple always works together.
Yeah.
So if one person is cheating, it cannot be him or her alone. You're together, and it's important that you understand, not saying blame yourself or feel responsible for the other person's doing, but try and understand where the relationship went wrong, right?
Rather than saying understand,
Yeah.
because that doesn't happen generally.
Yeah.
Number one, no matter what the reasons are, it's never okay for cheating.
Yeah.
But if it did happen, your responsibility, if you have to talk about the responsibility of what, 90% it is on the other person. 10% comes on to you, not onto why the person has cheated, but how to work on it if you want to work on
Right.
it. But it is absolutely 100% right if you decide on, I don't want this relationship.
Right.
Cheating is the limit. I cannot go ahead with that.
Yeah.
That is absolutely 100% right way. You know, there was one reel that I have posted.
Huh.
It's got a lot of comments. Cheating is cheating.
Yeah.
The end. There's no explanation, no reasons whatsoever. True. But that reel kind of got me like 50 to 100 clients, I would say. Why? Because women cannot let go of their partner. It happened only mostly women. I only got women, like 50 to 100. I'm not kidding about this. So these women always say, we've had good moments. We've had good memories.
And we want to hold on to those
I
memories.
love the person. I know the person loves me. The initial period of my marriage was beautiful. So they hold on to that person who cheated. Not even the memories, that person, because they know what is the capability of that person to be caring and loving. So they want to hold on to that. Somehow they feel that I need to bring that person out. So these people will try so hard to make things right. But it is always for both of them to work on it. One person cannot undo the cheating effects.
Wow. It breaks my heart to hear that even though women, I mean, you're working mostly with women, so even though women have been cheated on, they are so desperate to make it work, while, like you said, 90% of the responsibility is of the cheater. Let me know what your thoughts are on cheating, how to avoid it, what is the right way forward if, God forbid, it happens in life. Please put them down in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you for watching this podcast. And please share it with everybody. And don't forget to subscribe. This is both of us signing out. Love and peace from us.